And Joe, I think I'm going to make you also a facilitator in case.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see the as people enter. I'm trying to let them bypass the lobby, but for some reason it's not wanting me to.
Okay.
Are you able to see the lobby?
Yeah, I can admit to
Perfect.
Lauren now.
Oh, great.
So I'll keep an eye on that.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. I am doing. There we go. All right, so why don't we go ahead and get started. So I am Coach Hall. For those of you who haven't met me in person, I think I've gotten to meet most of you, and much of you are returners to our program. So welcome back. We're really excited to get the season started. I'm going to go over a couple of basic kind of agenda items of ways that we can make sure that we're all on the same page moving forward. And so you can see here, I have an agenda for you. I'm going to tell you where you can find it, and it will remain there. So then if you need to look back on this checklist, for example, you'll be able to come back and see it. Coach Haney is not going to be with us this evening, but Joe Gaines, our board president, is here with us, as well as I think all of our board members. So we have Celeste Kerber. She's going to talk to you later about volunteering. Nastrin is here. She's been the one that sent you all the emails. If you haven't, we had a short conversation about this before the meeting started, but if you haven't been getting her emails, it has our cool little logo on them when you get them. Check your junk mail, and if you move it to your inbox once, they should always go to your inbox after that. So make sure that you're getting those. Suzanne Gaines is here. She's going to talk to us about Spirit Gear, Player Pack, and all that kind of stuff. Kelly Skinner is, her daughter actually graduated last year, but she's stuck on to be our treasurer again this year. And we've got Ashley and Christine that are helping run the dive program with me. Their daughters are on our dive team. So those are just some general people that you can look to for information whenever you need that. So after this evening, what I want you to be able to do is, one, have a grasp on how to use Swimtopia. This is new for all of us this year, but it is an amazing resource. The board has offered to pay the membership so we can be part of it. It's meant to be a one-stop shop. And I know our registration is far from a one-stop shop because we need so many different things and we have to function through so many different accounts and avenues. We every year try to streamline it a little bit more. And there's only so much we can do. So we really appreciate all of you for doing all the things that you do to get through all of those different websites. But from moving forward, everything should be located on Swimtopia for you. Some of you are not getting the remind, so I'm just wanting to encourage you as much as possible to sign up for our remind. And there is our text code right there that you can join us. So whenever we get whenever I need to send something out for immediate information, that is how I'm going to do it. So there's, a meet delay because of snow, or a meet cancellation because of snow, or something's going on with transportation, and I need you to know right now, I'm going to use that text system. So make sure that you're on there so that any emergencies or any short-term immediate information, you can get that. We're going to talk about volunteering. Many of you signed up for volunteering when you registered, so we're going to show you how you can find more of those opportunities, and Celeste is going to talk to us a little bit about that. Food donations, Celeste will also talk to you about that. And the CAA, Joe is going to take that over at the end of our meeting. So let's talk about a couple of things. So here is, I'm going to do my big part first, and then I'm going to pass the torch for everybody else to take over their part. What I want to do is a walkthrough of Swimtopia for you. And again, this is our main site for all of the information that we're going to be needing in the midst of the season. So here is our Swimtopia site that has been sent out to you a bunch of times. Please bookmark this. When you sign in, hopefully you have registered and you should see your name at the very top. Your registration should be your email address that you use to register with. I have gone over with the kids when they were in a team meeting earlier about the email address that was registered for them in the system. Some of the kids weren't getting them because they're in a summer league that uses Swimtopia, and then they can't sign up for this one. Swimtopia has been really helpful, and we have merged those accounts for those kids that I knew were having trouble. Please encourage your athletes to let me know if they're still having issues. But all of those that I have known about, I have been able to merge those accounts so they can see both the summer league and they can see our program. So they should be able to have options for both. But this homepage is going to be mainly, so here's our agenda for this evening. It's going to be all of our news. So we will have any meet write-ups that I write. They will end up on the CAA website also, but they're going to be posted here as well. Here is where I talk to the kids about goal setting. So here is the link that they follow to fill out the form about the goals that they have for the season. So we talked a lot about those goals at our team meeting. So it's up to them to be filling this in. I would like that to be filled in by our meet on Saturday. So if you could run by your athlete and say, hey, have you filled in the goal setting form yet? We would really appreciate it, because then we can make sure everybody has their goals set for the season. We also talked to the kids about nutrition, and that is located here as well. So this is actually a presentation that Coach Haney made, and she did a lot of research. She took the packet that we had last year of your returner and put it into a very easily digestible presentation. And in there, it has, based on research of youth athletes, this is what kids need. It even has in there like a calorie count of how many calories our kids are burning as athletes every day. The issue we come into contact with the most is that our kids aren't eating enough. And so if you look through this presentation, you're going to see suggestions on how to balance the meals, making sure they're getting enough calories to fuel their activities. It gives you recipe ideas for how to create a really balanced meal for dinner. It has suggestions for breakfast, has suggestions for snacks, has suggestions for all kinds of things. I don't want our kids denying themselves calories. Do I want them making good choices? That is the biggest thing. I am not going to be upset with them for eating a bag of Cheetos. I'm not going to be upset with them. They're kids. And some of them, I worry that they're not eating enough, period. So like, put something in your body. But we all know, and some of us maybe practice it and know it, but what we put into our body is how we burn it out, how we are able to use it. Some calories we can't use as well as others. Some calories are meant to be for energy. Some calories are meant to be kind of our body is in survival mode. So I want them to know what they're putting into their bodies and how important that is. So the biggest thing is, how do I fuel my body for recovery? A lot of them are talking about how tired they are now that we've started the season, how sore they are. So we talked a lot about things that have the best recovery calories, the best recovery components. And so we talked about things like eggs. We talked about things like avocados. We talked about things like bananas, watermelon, cheese, or cottage cheese in particular, cottage cheese, yogurt. So some of these are really good things that they can make after practice when they're feeling really sore or really drained. After we do a workout in the gym, they've got to be putting things into their body afterwards. If you don't have something going into your body an hour after you work out, you are missing an opportunity to help your body recover. And so the best thing we can do as parents is to have things available for them, take them shopping with us so that we're making choices together, and stick things in their backpack, right? So like granola bars or things like that. Anything really. I mean, nuts are really good. You can get some, Trader Joe's has the biggest array of trail mix, and it doesn't have all the like candy and stuff in it. But honestly, if they grab trail mix and it has some candy in it, I'm completely okay with that. They will eat it because there's some sweetness to it. Fine with me. It's better for me to know that they're getting some of those healthy fats in there. And for us, the big tagline of the season is, if you can be proud of 80% of what you put into your body every day, then that is a win. 20%, eat garbage food. Do I support that? Yeah, kind of, because they're kids, right? This is not about a diet. This is about fueling our body the best that we can so we can perform the best that we can. Hydration is super important. Our kids do not drink enough water, and some of our beverages dehydrate us. Sodas dehydrate us. And so we need to be careful about the things that we're putting into our body for hydration, because if we're trying to get hydration potential out of a drink with a lot of sugar, it's not going to be as good. And so in this presentation, there are some suggestions if kids don't like drinking straight water because they're like finicky about it. There are some suggestions for electrolyte additions that they can put in there that don't have a ton of sugar in them and a ton of extra non-real things. And so those are some suggestions in there. And I would really love to encourage our kids to get rest. And I know I'm an AP teacher, so I totally get that they are up all the time. I even have some of your kids in class, and they might be blaming me for not getting the rest that they need. But we have got to encourage time management. If our kids are not making the most of their school day, so like they've got some extra time during advisement, they've got some extra time during, part of lunch where they have a choice to go to the gym or they can go to, to the library to work or whatever. If we're not teaching them, if they've got a super heavy load, to use some of that time, they're just shifting that time to being at home. And if they leave all of it until after practice, then that is going to be detrimental to their rest. So it's really important that we take an opportunity to try to coach them through some time management skills. And that also means active rest. So on the weekends, if we don't have a meet, we're not just sitting on the couch, right? We talk about active recovery during practice, that we're actively stretching, we're actively moving our bodies, we're just not exerting to the optimal levels. So taking a walk as a family, taking the dog for a walk, those are really good things for them. Riding their bike around the neighborhood. I mean, it's probably been a long time since you've seen them do that, but all of those things are really good for their bodies. The best recovery you can do is keep moving your body. When you put it at rest is when your muscles start to tense up and everything. So this presentation has tons and tons of information in it for you to use as a parent to help guide you through making sure that as a family, you're kind of working together to get the nutrition in their bodies that they need. And some years, I mean, the kids have really had fun with it and they've done, family meals and they've practiced. They have taken on making dinner some nights and things like that. So try to make it part of like a family experience. And those kinds of kids are much more likely to actually try to do these nutritional tips that we're talking about. So this is our homepage, our home landing page. Like I said, this is all the news. If you go here to about, you can find information on how to contact the board, how to contact the coaches, things like that. Where our big hub is going to be is this calendar page. Practice info, that is from my practice group and Coach Haney's practice group. We put our nightly practice schedule there, but we also put what our break practices are. So if your child is a club swimmer and they would like to come and practice with us a couple times over break, they're more than happy to join us. They can check our practice info and see when we're practicing, and they can join us. But this sign up calendar is kind of the main hub right here. I really recommend that you subscribe. And every time I update our calendar, it is going to be pinged to your phone. It's going to come up as a notification because some of these events, we do not get the times for them until very close to the meet. And I put in here based on last year, based on previous years, what time they have been. And sometimes they're going to change. And so if you subscribe, it'll make sure that it sends you all of these posts of what things are being updated. And so here, Celeste is going to talk about these food donations, and you can sign up here for all job opportunities. So all opportunities to volunteer, you'll be able to press these buttons. The big thing is going to be these RSVP buttons. So what you'll see if we scroll down, this meet here is closed because the time to RSVP, I told them, was Saturday. And so now this is closed because I am making the entries for this meet. And you can see here all of the files I have made. And so yesterday I posted this document right here. I told them to go ahead and check it out. And then I did this draft here, which was by event where people can see what they're doing. And then I have done this one today. Draft 3 is the most recent copy that I have made. So they'll be able to see under here all of the draft entries. And you might be saying, why are there so many drafts? What happens is in this meet entry, when they RSVP, they're going to say, yes, I will be there. And here are the meets or events I want to be in. They'll be able to select all the ones that they would like to be in. And then I will make the final decisions about what they're in. So I will then post those events here of what my entries are. I will tell them, hey, they're all posted, go check them out. They're responsible, even if they're not coming to that meet, they are responsible to go in and check that draft entry. If they are not supposed to be in that meet, I want them checking it because I want them to let me know if I've put them in that meet and they're not supposed to be here. That is critical because if they don't and they don't say anything, then I'm going to have them in relays, and suddenly the day of the meet is going to come and I have to rework all the relays because they're like, oh, so-and-so is not going to be here. They told me they weren't going to be here. That is unacceptable. Every athlete needs to RSVP to every meet. And that's why I encourage you as a family to go through our schedule now and put in the RSVP for every event or for every meet that we've got. Kids can go in and change what they want to request, but at least go in there and RSVP that you're going to be at those meets or that you're not going to be. I don't like going in there and seeing certain kids haven't RSVP'd at all and I haven't heard from them. And there were only like 3 so for this meet. So I'm hoping that by having this meeting, you can let them know, hey, we've got a RSVP for that meet. Coach Hall needs to know. This is going to be for extra volunteers. So we've got jobs for photography. We would love to have more parents involved in catching some action photography at our meets. Timers and snacks are all located there, and Celeste is going to talk a little bit about that. But it's kind of a nice space that you and your athlete can come to and kind of get everything done at the same time. So you'll see some of these meets. This is for divers only. So swimmers do not have to RSVP at all to this meet. It doesn't apply to them. But you will always see and hear whether it involves both swim and dive or if it's just one or the other. So please go ahead and go through here and put these all in your calendar. Make sure you continue to the next one so you can see. And then these are our themes. The kids came up with themes that they want to use at each of the meets to celebrate and to get excited for the meet. So that's the most important and probably going to be the most utilized page on Swimtopia. You can see here also, if you or your athlete takes pictures at the meet just of like your kid standing with another kid, another friend on the team, you take a quick pic with your phone. You can go here to any of these, find the meet that it was, and you can upload pictures for our, we have a Smug Mug where we post all of our pictures. You can go in here because the pictures that will be taken by parents, like the action shots, you'll want to see those because they're pretty awesome. So you can go here, you can view all the meets. These are ones that you click if you want to put photos in. So this is something that we hope that you guys will use as well. And mostly that we have the kids use them. Here is all of our booster board. So you can see all of the people that are involved, like I mentioned before. And anytime you fill this out, they're going to see it. Okay, it's going to send directly to our email that is for the board. So this is coming up. This is on the side of basically every page in Swimtopia. So you'll be able to take a look at all of those. And anytime we have a booster club meeting, we'll post all of our stuff here as well. So in case you as a parent would like to join us for one of our booster club meetings, you may absolutely do so. They're always open to you. But this is a great resource. It's a great site for us to use, a one-stop shop, and just for internal purposes. You can download the app, and that'll be really helpful to you also in making sure that you can view it on the go. Are there any questions about Swimtopia? Nothing at all? Okay. So really quick, let's look at communication. So the biggest thing for me is that athletes communicate directly with me. So that is via email, that's preferably face-to-face. Catch me at school, come by and talk to me, shoot me an email, shoot me a text via Remind. I love you all as parents because in my infancy of parenting, parents work really, really hard. You are in a million places at once. You've probably got more than one kid that you're chasing around with all their activities. And I know our desire to step in and take care of things for our athlete because we're afraid that they're not going to do it. I need you to let them navigate that. They are in high school now. I work for them, right? I coach them. I'm spending time with them. They're the ones that I am working with the most. So I need them to advocate for themselves and come and say, Coach, I'm not going to be able to be at the meet Saturday because here's my reasoning. I already filled out the form on Swimtopia, but I wanted to let you know in person. We want to teach them maturity. We want to teach them how to communicate with adults. And this is a really integral part of this program. So please, if you have questions, shoot those to the board. They'll send the ones to me that they need answered that they don't know the answer to, but most of them know most things that need most of the protocols. But I want the athletes directly communicating with me. Hold off sending me an email if your kid comes and talks to me and there is no resolution. At that point, you may reach out to me. Okay. I am not a closed door. I want you to communicate with me if something seems unsatisfactory or if there's something going on that's really sensitive that your athlete, something going on in their life that I need to know about. And so that could be a family situation. That could be something that will help me support them. By all means, those are things that I am welcoming for parents to communicate with me. But if it's something dealing with the team, meets, practices, those kind of things, I need them to communicate. We talked about nutrition, Meet Mobile. If you are new to this program, I encourage you to download Meet Mobile on your phone. Meet Mobile is an app that most of our meets are going to be loaded into, and it will have live results. And so right after a heat is over, those results are going to be pushed to that app, and you'll be able to see their time, their official times loaded in the system. So if you're not able to be at the meet, you have to be with the other sibling at some other sporting event, you can have Meet Mobile open and you can be tracking what's going on with the team. It'll show you our team score. It'll show you how people are doing. And then, of course, I'll put the recap in, but that'll be after the meet is over. So those are the main kind of key points of functionality regarding the things that are going on. You can see here at the bottom is where we have the agenda for Saturday. So we are doing team photos with KDE Studios, and we're doing our meet. So we're going to have the bus meet at 1 o'clock on Saturday in the front of the school by the flagpole. That is when we are leaving. So please come 12:45, 12:50. We're going to go together to Cumming Aquatic Center. This will be divers included. Our divers can drive themselves because they're not staying for the meet. So if they want to meet us at, oh my gosh, team photos, 1:39. It's at 1:30. We're going to do team photos at 1:30. So divers should meet us there ready to take photos at 1:30. We'll have about an hour and a half to take our pictures. That'll be individual headshots, and that will be team photos. Katie will be sticking around to do action shots during the meet as well. And so warm-ups will be about 3:30. Our meet is going to begin exactly at 4 o'clock. So if you're just coming to watch the meet, showing up at 4 o'clock will be just fine. There is no entry fee for that meet at Cumming Aquatic Center. We should be no later than 6 o'clock. There's no diving at this meet, and there's a limited amount of entries per team. So we should be able to keep that meet moving pretty efficiently. So I guess about 6 o'clock. And then even if you can't come, the bus will return us all to school. A lot of kids prefer to take the bus home instead of riding home with their parents, just so they can spend some time with the team. But if they would like to ride home with you, I need either you as a parent to come in direct contact with me and be like, I've got them, I'm here. You cannot take another child home unless I have a parent note from them. So if you know that Susie lives in your neighborhood and you're going to be driving her back, have her bring a note from her mom or dad in her backpack to the meet where she can hand it to me and say, after the meet, I'm going home with Timmy and his parents. So here is my note. I can't let a kid go home with you without knowing that the parents know of that child. So please make sure that that takes precedent. And I need to know if you're leaving with your parent or if you're taking your kid with you. And so please don't just take off because their events are over. Your child needs to come and make eye contact with me and see in the stands, my parents are right there. I'm going home with them. Okay. It's just a safety issue. So please make sure that that is accounted for on Saturday for our first meet. Any questions for me? I have a section here at the end for any specific questions, but any questions currently about the meet on Saturday or anything I've talked about? All right, Joe, you want to take it from here? You want me to stay on the agenda?
Sure, great, thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome everyone to another great season here. We expect to have another good year. Welcome through our new athletes. We have a great looking team this year, so that's exciting. As we've gone through the career here of Cambridge High School, we really have made significant improvements in the swim and dive team. We credit a lot of that to our coaches. So welcome. Your athletes are going to have a great year. We create a great program. We think it's one of the best ones at Cambridge. We take care of the athletes. You'll see that at the meet. We make sure they have what they need. Our goal as a board also is to make sure that Coach Hall and Coach Haney have the time to engage with your athlete. We pull most of the administrative activities off of the coaches. So as Coach Hall mentioned earlier, if you have questions about anything, go to the board first, go through the link there. We'll take care of it. Most of us have been around for a while, pretty seasoned. We usually know the ins and outs of some of those questions. If there's something specific, obviously we go to Coach Hall or Coach Haney. But in general, we can answer most of your questions. And that's just really a good communication flow from a team perspective there. Well, you've already done all your registrations. And again, thank you for going to 5 different locations this season. It was a little bit complex, especially starting off even with rank 1. For those who have been around, we thought last year, great, we had a new system. We'll just use that again this year. And it got changed. So again, thank you for that. Thanks for making sure that you ended up all in all the right spots. So we appreciate that. A couple things I just want to chat about. If you've been to some of the new athlete meetings and if you've been on the team, in general, we do not do fundraising activities. We do not sell, you name it, sheets, Christmas wrap. We don't run car washes. There's a lot of things that we don't do. In general, we like to run the team, focus on it. And really the best way to do that for additional sponsorships is with CAA memberships. As a family, if you're new to Cambridge, please go to the cambridgebears.com website. You'll see a section there on the website where you can sign up for memberships. There's family memberships. There's some great benefits there. Lauren's going to take us over to that, it looks like. But if you were able to go in there, you'll see there's some benefits to the family depending on the different levels. We'd ask every family at a minimum try to be at the lowest level at a minimum. That money comes directly to the team to help support all the activities we do during the year. You'll see as the season goes on, we will do some fun activities with your athletes outside of the pool. So we obviously, instead of asking for money every time for those, we try to fund it that way. And as I mentioned, there's some other some higher level family memberships that get your family tickets to, a full season of all the sports that go on at Cambridge High School. So take a look at that. So far, we've hit about 40% of our goal for CAA memberships this year already. So during the registration process, some folks did that. So we just encourage everyone to do that. It also gives us a good voice with Cambridge Athletic Association with all the activities that go on there. We want to make sure that we look like an engaged team. It gives, as myself or treasurers or anyone's at a CAA board meeting, when we have a good level of membership, it gives us a better voice. So please join that. That's probably about one of the only things you'll hear about fundraising this year from us. We just ask that you go and do that, whatever you can from a family perspective. We would appreciate that. So we'll go back to the agenda, Lauren.
Sure. And the only other thing I will add to that is that when the money that we bring in through those memberships goes to full team activities. So don't think it's going to go specifically to a certain group of athletes. We make sure that that money specifically is spent on things that the entire team, swimming and diving, is going to benefit from. Excellent.
Thanks. That's a good reminder. Number 2 is interest in joining the board. This is a volunteer organization, as you all know. Everyone, we had a really great response to volunteering at different meets and all that. Celeste will talk a little bit more about that. But the other piece is interest in joining the board. For those of you who are just joining our team, it's a great organization. There are some of us that are a little more on the senior end of the of our careers here on the board. So we look to bring folks on, engage as we kind of transition the board. So we keep that support to Coach Hall and Coach Haney very consistent. So if you have prior experience or you have interest in joining the board, we would appreciate it. Feel free to reach out to me or any of the board members. We'd love to talk to you about some of the opportunities that we look at. As you mentioned, Lauren mentioned earlier, Kelly Skinner, who is our treasurer, actually her daughter graduated last year. She had so much fun and so much engagement on that she wanted to stay for another year, even when her athlete wasn't on the team. So there are some things like that we do need to kind of turn over the board here in the next year or two. So if you have interest, appreciate, more than happy to talk to you at a meet. I'm at most of the meets, or any of the other board members are too. Love to chat with you. It's not a huge time commitment. There's a lot of setup that we do early in the year, but once that happens, everything kind of goes, like clockwork. So not a lot of extra work there, but we appreciate your assistance on that. And the final piece, I'll just talk about this. There will be spirit wear coming out for the team. So this would be for the parents. All of your athletes are already getting their player pack, which will come out in the next week or two. As we get the gear, they'll have a hooded sweatshirt, a couple t-shirts, caps, etc., shorts. All that'll be coming through. But we also always get requests every year from parents to say, how do we support the team? How do we have, some gear that's swim and dive related for our meets? So what you can expect in the next day or two is a link that'll take you. It'll be posted on Swimtopia in the section. I think there's one that's called Spiritwear or Team Gear, I think, in the team store in the corner. The link will be there. We'll send a reminder out to everyone. We'll give you about a week or so to order because we want to be able to get the all the items turned around quickly. We'll have t-shirts in a couple different colors. We'll have hooded sweatshirts, crew sweatshirts, and pajama pants. Those are pretty popular with the athletes too. So keep an eye out for that. Like I said, we'll do a quick turn on it, get that done, and then get that out there. So by the first, probably by the second or third meet of the season, everyone will be fully geared up for the rest of the season. So keep an eye out for that. We'll get you all taken care of and in good swim and dive gear. So those are the three things I had. If Celeste is on, Celeste, you want to chat about volunteering needs? If she is not, I will.
She was on here earlier.
Oh, okay. She might have got disconnected. I'll go ahead and chat about it then. The key thing around volunteering needs, as Lauren showed you on Swimtopia, there's always opportunities to volunteer. We are a little bit smaller team than we were last year. So we have about 15 or so less athletes. So what we would like to do is, if you have the opportunity, please go back in, take a look at the meets. We're pretty full at the beginning of the season, but what you'll see later on in the season, there's some openings there. So if you could, please go back in and we can pre-plan all those volunteering needs that we have. You'll see it's timing at an event, photography, etc. So if you can, that'd be great to be able to do that. If not, when we get closer to meets, we will be looking for some volunteers. This is a volunteer-run organization, so anything you can do to help there would be appreciated. It sounds like Celeste is here, but we can't hear her. So hopefully I did it justice. The other piece is around food donations too. While we do provide some of the heavier duty food for meats, etc. If we're doing a long meat, sandwiches, etc. Some of the snack items are what we're looking for. We bring those in and then we make those available to the athletes. As Lauren talked about earlier, fueling the athletes not only before the meet but during the meet is so important. So we make sure we have the right kind of snacks for them as we go forward. So please take a look at that. There's a few gaps on a few things that we'd love to be able to fill this year. So if you can, please take a look at that.
Celeste is also.
Oh, Celeste, you there?
I was going to call you the great communicator.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey.
I'm screaming. Anyway, I wanted to say you did a great job, Joe. Thank you.
I'm not taking your job, though. I did
want to say, no, are you sure?
Yeah.
I am Celeste. Most people probably know me, but because I've been around a long time. But I'm nearing the end. I have 3 daughters that have gone through the program now, and what I've seen is that one of the reasons that Cambridge has been so successful is because of our parents and how we have supported the athletes and Coach Hall with our time and helping to fuel them to race fast. And we just have such a huge impact on them. And in terms of when I looked up on Swimtopia, we really have had a lot of you have already signed up, and there's not too many holes, and that's awesome. But what you can expect from me the week before a meet or before your volunteer shift is you'll probably see an email from me first, because I'm super wordy, as you can probably already tell, and I have a lot of things I want to say. But anyway, if there's look for that email, because it's going to have all kinds of details of when to show up, what to be doing, what to look for, and every now and then there may be an email from me with an SOS for timers, because one of the things is that we predict what we're going to need, but that's not always the case. And sometimes a facility would be like, oh, we need 6 timers for this meet, but right now we've just predicted 4. And that's also for the food volunteer. I can walk you through that a little bit, because I don't think we've done that as often, but usually there's 2 people in charge of the fuel or the food that goes to the meets, and 1 person comes with the gear, which is the heavy stuff, the coolers and tables and the non-perishable stuff, and then the other partner does some of the shopping of the perishables, and that's like the fruits and the veggies and dairy products. So it's not hard either, because you basically set up the table. The kids love the people that provide them the food, and you're very popular. And then you get to watch the meet, and then they come back and they smile at you, and then you make sure it doesn't get trashy, because it can get kind of trashy over there if we don't keep it organized. But for the most part, you're watching the meet, and then you're doing the big, you're bringing everything back. So those are the 2 ways you volunteer. And also for the donations, thank you so much for the donations I've already received. I know my address hasn't been up there on Swimtopia. I can get that to you if you would like to drop by at my house. But the easiest way might be this weekend, just to drop off with me at the meet, or your child could also bring it to Coach Hall's room, and I will pick it up there too. So let's see if I wrote anything. Oh, I don't know if anyone has ever told you about Twitter, and I know it's called something else, but you should use it even if it's just for this season, because one of my favorite things about being part of this team for so long has been the updates that Coach Hall does on every person. Sometimes it's after the meet, and sometimes it's like in real time. But I love knowing what I have girls, so I don't always understand what's happening with on the guys' side. Like, I don't know what a state cut is, and I loved hearing that someone just made a state cut, and it's just a really neat way to understand what's going on. Anyway, that's all I have.
And if
Great.
you
So
are
that's-
interested, if you're interested in where the Twitter is, I think I posted it on Swimtopia.
Great. And Celeste, I think you addressed it. We had one question, where and when to drop the snacks. So I think you covered that either at the meet this weekend, at your home, or Coach Hall. So thank you for that question. But hopefully that covers it for everyone.
And for those of you that are interested in joining the board, I can't say enough about how much this is a well-oiled machine. We have a system set up where you can slide in even without a lot of experience, and you will be able to shadow people and see what they do and have them talk you through it, and you'll be involved in the meetings, and you'll see that we pretty much have everything set up that we need. And so if you're worried about, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, I don't know what this job involves, you can just decide that I'm interested in participating. And Joe will say, why don't you come and shadow me? I am going to be moving on, or shadow Suzanne with Spirit Gear because you've done Spirit Gear for a summer league team, or you want to come and, Nastrin is going to be moving on from communication. You're good at, organization and communicating. So maybe that's what you want to do. There's so many opportunities, and we make it really easy for you to get involved and not feel intimidated. We do have a great program, and it's Joe, how many years has it been?
I'm in year number 8 right now. I'll have one more. So
yeah. So Joe and Suzanne are about to have, and also Celeste are about to get a well-deserved retirement. So if you're interested, please come and join us. We're a great program. So we'd be happy to have you. So this is the point where do you have any questions? And these are non-athlete specific questions. So questions about a meet system, questions about anything.
This is Amanda Thompson. Hey, everyone. Quick question, and I'm sure I can talk to folks more about it, but I signed up for one of the meets to do photography. Is that just being around with my phone and taking pictures of anyone and everyone as they finish their events and everything, or how does that work?
So typically what we're asking for, and it's in the description, that we ideally would like somebody getting action shots. So we're looking for people to be photographing kids while they're swimming, because those are the great shots that we're looking to get to put on the website, put in with our meet releases. We do also want those candid shots. So, I mean, we would love to get pictures of kids like coming out of the pool and celebrating with their friends. But sometimes you need a little bit of a faster shutter speed to catch some of those moments. So ideally what we'd like to have is somebody with a little bit of a faster camera than a phone. But I mean, if that's all we've got, it's better than not having any photographs at all. So.
Okay. All right. I'll sort through it. Thanks. Is
there anybody else? Suzanne, did you want to talk anything about Spirit Gear, or are you good?
Hi, I'm good, I think, because I'll just send out the form this week and people will order and we'll go from there.
Awesome. Will the kids get their caps this weekend for the meet? I think some kids were asking about that.
Yes, I have all the caps, so those are set, and I hopefully am picking up all the other gear at the end of the week for them.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all that you do, Suzanne. I don't know how you do all of that.
Welcome.
Kids should all have their suits. They should have been delivered straight to their houses from All American. So if you haven't received it yet, please let the board know or let Joe know, and we can give you our contact at All American so they can track and see where your suit is, because you should have been able to get it pretty quickly. Most kids I've been hearing have gotten it within a week or so. All right, well, if there's nothing else, thank you all, the board members, for being here tonight and helping get us all the information that we need. I will be posting the link for this recording on Swimtopia so you can see it again if you missed something. But I was so happy to I wish I could have all of you in person and get to chat with you. But I know we have a million things going on. So I will see you all on the deck, I hope, on Saturday for our first meet. We're all really excited. I'm excited to see your kids doing their thing. That's my favorite part. So looking forward to seeing everybody. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks all. Thank you.